Everybody, this is Jay Leno, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Marvel Zombies What If episode 3 and 4. And I've got my guys in here, SSJ and Jonan. What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. I'll tell y'all what, man. Um, Episode 3 and 4, it I would say I wasn't as big of a fan as episode 3 that much. Because I don't know, I didn't like how they did Thor. I'm not going to go into full details because I want to hear you guys' opinions. But I'd also like to mention I was really impressed with. I think episode 4 saved this entire 4 episode series. But moving on from my opinion and what I think, I'm gonna go start with you, SSJ. What'd you think of episode 3 and 4?
So they're definitely better than episode 1 and 2, but they absolutely did not save this series though, especially with episode 4's ending. Because I basically thought it threw away pretty much the whole point of this show for a character that a lot of people didn't care about. We all know who that character is, the industry plant,
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan. So yeah, this show was not good. I'll just keep this short and then I'll go into further details later.
Okay. How about yourself, Jonah? Jonah, are you there? Well, but yeah, I mean SSJ until we get Jonah back in here. SSJ, like, with episode 3, I guess I mean it was. Are they were those Asgardians?
Yes.
All right, so I mean, I know it's a what if series, but are you there, Jonah? I thought I heard you.
Oh, you bet.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess he's gonna return. But yeah, as far as I mean that army of Asgardians, I guess I was really excited for Thor, and I didn't appreciate Scarlet Witch having her big presence at that moment because, in retrospect of right now, thinking about it, like that was actually, I mean, episode 3 and 4, I got to see my favorite female character in Marvel, and that's Scarlet Witch. Like, what'd you think of Scarlet?
Way too much feminist agenda when it comes to
She's
Scarlet
OP
Witch.
though, bro. She's
She's not.
definitely an OP.
She's OP, but she's not that OP to where
In the
she.
comic, she was.
No, not until like I want to say after like House of M type stuff.
Yeah.
The 80s, she was never that powerful to where she eliminates
Yeah.
everybody. I want to say like when she killed the X-Men, sure, but
That's what,
Oh yeah,
2008?
Scarlet Witch.
yeah,
Yeah, like in the
2008.
2000s, I think that's where she definitely got me.
So
Very
okay, so I
overpowered.
guess I'll spoil this real quick. So pretty much, I guess towards the end of episode 4, like nobody can tell me otherwise. She should not have won the fight between the Incredible Hulk. You're telling me all she has to do is touch him, and then she strips away the Infinity powers that he basically absorbed when he contained the Infinity Stones in Wakanda.
She got crazy
And
mind
plus,
control, bro.
I feel like the Hulk, like they weakened him too. Why was he getting tired and weakened from regular zombies before
With
Scarlet
the
Witch
guard,
got
yeah,
him?
yeah, being Infinity Hulk, you do have a point.
The only cool thing is like, so I'll pretty much say this: the Hulk pretty much got female dogged again. He already he already got female dogged in the main MCU timeline where we get this stupid smart Hulk and She Hulk with a son that we don't care about with that terrible man bun haircut.
Say
Now
it
we
ain't
have
so,
this
bro.
Hulk right here. The only cool thing I can say about this Hulk was when he was fighting Thor. I was like, okay, because as somebody that's a Hulk fan, when you see Hulk fighting Thor,
Yeah.
usually they try to shift it in Thor's favor because he's a god. Usually they try not to let Hulk win. It's very few instances where the Hulk actually beats Thor down. But
Mhm.
here, because they're zombie Thor, we stopped watching Marvel's zombies. It stopped being Marvel zombies and turned into Gears of War. Because when he threw down zombie Thor and kicked his body over, he curb stomped him. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the only cool thing I can say about this show. Everything else, trash.
Well, okay, so I mean, we kind of jumped further, but since you started the Incredible Hulk conversation, we can have that because I mean, really, that's the highlight of these 3 and 4 episodes is the Incredible Hulk, and I was excited to see Hulk. I thought that episode 4 was like redemption for how they treated Hulk in the MCU because Hulk fighting off that army by himself, even those enlarged zombies. He to me he had a nice fighting segment.
Well,
And then,
yeah,
Yeah, he
look,
was pretty
Flash
cool for that
yeah,
moment.
so like
and stuff.
that's
It's
just,
kind
he
of hard
just
to
went on this tangent about like he was trash. I'm like, bro. I mean, he definitely was killing. He was doing his. He was getting busy, bro.
he was
It
still
was kind of hard to
trash,
believe
though,
that
'cause he
this is
was
like the Mark
getting
Ruffalo
weaker.
Hulk because I was rewatching like What If and all that, and I'm just like, God, I like I'm just like, oh God. And not to mention, like Thor kind of had the same kind of thing too in like episode 3 with like Hulk inside that What If episode where like at the very last minute he starts to like do something epic to like make way for like the good guys to like escape or something like that, and then has like this cool showdown with Scarlet Witch that happens off screen. So it's like, oh, left a little ambiguous.
Yeah,
But okay,
but I still think the Hulk was female dog, though. Like, yeah, the fight scene looks cool to y'all, but I thought it was ridiculous that he was. It felt like he was running out of stamina and he was getting weakened by some mere zombies. Like, why aren't you Hulk clapping some of these zombies? And like, I don't know. Like, it was just disappointing to me.
Then he was doing a bunch of stuff like punching Abomination, doing a bunch of like wind style and stuff. It's like taking down. Yeah, that was kind of cool though, at least. But yeah, I definitely do kind of like relate or resonate with the whole Scarlet Witch thing. Like it, she like it felt like she like effortlessly defeated the Hulk, and it's like
Yeah,
you
way
should
too
probably take a little bit more to kind of defeat him than just that.
well, to
Yeah.
attribute to your theory and your stance towards this series, SSJ, I will admit that majority of the characters on the show have those moments where they feel nerfed or it they didn't uh, 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 they didn't play to their strengths in battle, and perhaps because this is Marvel Zombies, that that the series is about the villains winning, and I I disagree with you on the Scarlet Witch. I mean, you made point of a older version of Scarlet Witch, but I mean, if we're referring to 2008 Scarlet Witch, and I mean, there's several polls, there's several lists, and Scarlet Witch can pretty much take down like almost anybody, or yeah, pretty much every character in Marvel, especially on the hero side of the core. Except I guess people that can protect their would that be their mental or wear a helmet or protect themselves from her having the capability of altering their reality mentally.
Like a
She
lot of second
I
time.
get what you're
yeah,
saying.
she's defeated every opponent that doesn't have the ability to stop her power.
It
I get
depends
what you're
because
saying,
I
but
hear
there's a
Professor X
pattern.
is defeated Scarlet Witch.
You said
Yeah, but
you said
Scarlet
who?
Witch also defeated her and
Professor X,
defeated
yeah.
him in Doctor
Yeah.
Strange, which I
And
thought was BS too.
and this the Iron Man, I mean to make reference to the 2008 Scarlet Witch. There's if I'm not mistaken, the Iron Man that the I the Iron Man the story that was used for the MCU wasn't one of the exact original stories of Iron Man. They took some of the storylines from the if I'm not mistaken, is it the 2000s Iron Man?
Sort of. I mean,
Sort of.
they took
His
Iron
origin
Man's.
more so.
They took his original origin from the '60s, but they kind of modernized it. So originally, his origin was like he was in Vietnam, but they changed it from Vietnam to Iraq since that was
Iraq.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
but
probably, and then of course the whole secret identity thing. That was like, oh, they revealed that in like the late '90s or something like that.
yeah,
But before that, Iron Man always had like a secret identity and pretended to be like his own bodyguard for a while.
yeah. But to answer your um, response, Jalen, though, yeah, like I'm not denying that she's immensely powerful, but my thing is somebody like the Hulk, she should not have been able to easily take out after, especially he had the Infinity Gauntlet that he basically absorbed
Mm.
and
Yeah.
contained at the time, yeah. And especially with the Hulk's physiology and biology, he pretty much can, cause he can survive anything basically. So if the Scarlet Witch was basically gonna try to eradicate the whole X-Men like she did in the comics, that's not gonna do anything to the Hulk. It might probably turn him back into Banner, but then he'll just turn back into the Hulk later.
Mm. Mm.
Somebody like Scarlet Witch, like we've seen this pattern before. She already beat everybody essentially at the end of her show, and then basically her movie, which is not Doctor Strange's movie, her
Yeah.
movie, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is her movie. So, I mean, it gets repetitive. We've seen this over and over again. Scarlet Witch, we get it, she's strong, but she should not have defeated the Hulk. She just shouldn't have. And the whole thing with Thor too, I don't think she shouldn't have she shouldn't have put up that easy of a fight when it came to her versus Thor. She has hacks when it comes to Thor, but physically Thor can slice her in two if he wanted to.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't have any disagreements with that. I do have a question for you guys, and I guess I'll start with Joan, and I'll let you get the opportunity to have a first response to it. So, was it's a couple of questions to follow up with.
Okay.
Uh, so, if when this the original date of this release of this series, would that have followed the WandaVision, or would that be before WandaVision?
So WandaVision set after Endgame. So this probably would be around that time. But like, so the What If episode where they did the zombies and stuff, that's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 2019. So we're talking like around like the time like Infinity War just started, right?
Okay.
And then we do the 5 year time skip and all that stuff where, the snap or the flip or whatever doesn't happen because Thanos got turned into a zombie. So that's kind of where we're at currently with after the 5 year time skip.
Okay. I mentioned that to say that this was probably to follow up to be in favor of Scarlet Witch, either going into WandaVision or post WandaVision. This would have been the entertainment. They were trying to map and set up Wanda, and to attribute to what you say, SSJ. This would have definitely catapulted the feminist movement.
Yeah. But
Because you got, yeah.
quick little reminder though, because I was also forming a little whatchamacallit. But yeah, so WandaVision probably wouldn't have happened at this point. Um, because all that like Wanda got turned into a zombie around, the time in Infinity War.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's like
This show basically takes place during the Infinity War
Not the
timeline.
plot of the actual show. I was referring to the release of the
yeah,
show,
yeah.
of the series.
I
Okay.
think this probably would have came out around the time Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness would have.
Okay.
That would make sense. With the whole
That's
evil
what I'm
Wanda
thinking.
thing.
Yeah, since she
Although,
basically took over Westview and left with the dark hole at the end of the show, and
yeah,
we were supposed to get Doctor Strange at the end of that, but they removed that, and she just off screen is evil all of a sudden. But I think we were supposed to get this zombies series in between that to kind of hint at her being evil for when Doctor Strange came out. Since we did see a zombie or a dead Doctor Strange, like I think that's my theory.
Okay. Yeah, this would have definitely have been yeah. I mean, if this was released on time, I'm not sure if it would have gotten. I think it would have been a bomb. I
I
think
agree.
I think it would have had high viewage, like for a first week or two, but the reception, the perception post its release and content creators and people who like Marvel, this would this would attribute it to the feminist pandering. This has been a part of pandering.
It
Right.
probably would have also been a little bit character assassination for like Scarlet Witch because, well, for me personally, um, after WandaVision, I was like, okay, maybe she can probably do something to come back from this. But if they decide to introduce like mutants and stuff in the X-Men, I
Mhm.
can understand why a lot of normal people would be like distrustful of that because Wanda's supposed to be a mutant originally, but when she came back in Doctor Strange 2 and still made the same mistakes and a lot worse, I was like, all right, forget Wanda. And then now we got this with Marvel Zombies, and I'm just like, all right, so we're gonna keep doing this with this trend of, well, I don't know, bastardizing Scarlet Witch. So I
Mhm.
don't know.
Now, I will admit, I don't I may be one of the few, or or at least I'd be in a minority amongst our peers, but I was a huge fan of WandaVision. I enjoyed each episode. I definitely sat down and watched with fam and
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's a terrible show. Well, I'm not a huge fan of it myself after looking back on it, but I just didn't like how Wanda's whole thing was, oh, she enslaved the town and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's what
mm,
we're on. Because at first I thought she was just doing it sort of unintentionally, like, oh, she wasn't controlling her powers above it. Now I'm like, wait. She knew all along that, okay, this is pretty messed up, even for a hero.
It was
now.
basically just something to watch pretty much for the week or whatever, like the weeks that it was out or whatever. I thought the show was unique in the beginning because I actually do watch sitcoms. I like sitcom TV shows, so I like how it did like a I Love Lucy and Malcolm in the Middle type
Mm,
thing.
mm,
But
Yeah.
then the show pretty much to me went to crap when they tried to bait and switch us with Quicksilver because they know everybody likes Evan Peters Quicksilver from the Fox
Yeah.
X Men movies. That's
That
my favorite
mm,
Quicksilver.
that
So when
mm,
they
was
were like, "Oh yeah,
they
like
pulled the rug
this
on
is my
that one.
brother," and he had the comic accurate costume with the comic accurate
yeah.
hair, and I was like, "Okay, like it's gonna be Uncle Quicksilver and Aunt Wanda, Mommy Wanda with the kids, and Wanda's son had the speed powers just like him." I was like, "All right, that's gonna be cool. He might train him." But then they're like, "Oh no, he's just some random guy that was put on a hex spell from what's her face, Agatha, and his name is
Mm.
Ralph Boner." And
Yep.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, this show sucks. And then I didn't care for what's her name from Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Didn't care
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Mm,
character whatsoever. She
mm.
was pointless and boring. So
That was
yeah, the
terrible
show.
how they also tied that to her, like tied her origin to that too. I'm like, that's not really how she got her powers either. And it's
Yeah, that's not how she got her powers. And then I didn't like how they had put Darcy from the Thor movies. I'm like, that's a weird character out
Now,
of all characters.
let's
Put her.
close this WandaVision out. We going too far.
Yeah, let's go back to yeah.
but
But
yeah,
So
I will. Another thing that I will admit that I did enjoy with these two episodes, I did like that final fight scene before the death of those of the cat the survivors, the heroic survivors that were left. That whole fight sequence was impressive to me.
oh yeah, they definitely
yeah, look
ended
animated.
with a big bang right there.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. Yeah, bro. Like, it was definitely enjoyable. Actually, almost every fight scene I did enjoy from this entire series. I thought they were really creative. I just that I just disagreed with how people died.
The fast paced nature and the hand to hand
Yeah,
stuff
your
and the
boy
swordplay.
Blade.
But yeah.
What you feel about Blade?
Still
Uh,
feel like, well,
like overall, or just
I
I
also
mean,
feel like that was kind of a slap in the face too, because Blade is somebody that deals with supernatural. So how do you let somebody with supernatural die in this? Yeah, I
that
get he
quickly.
got killed
Or
by
not, well, not
Thor.
quickly,
I was
but
just like, that's just cheap though. He should have been
he
one
should
of
have
the
been the main,
survivors.
he should have been
He
the
should have
main
been the main
character.
character, if not one of the survivors. Like, I just thought that was BS. That's what I wanted
Yeah.
you to bring up next,
it's
Yelena.
I guess.
Then I was looking back on that What If episode, and I just kind of realized that technically Bucky, even though he was in that episode, he never got turned. He just, well, he stayed behind to kind of stop Wanda a little bit, but then Wanda like telekinetically just threw him. But I'm like, well, Bucky's a super soldier, and super soldiers can jump out of like airplanes and stuff without parachutes. I'm like, look key, Bucky could probably survive that fall and just come back later, but they
Fans
just
have
kind
a
of left his
theory
fate
that he's
ambiguous.
probably going to be in season, which I hope this trash can doesn't get a season 2. But fans are theorizing that Bucky is still alive and he'll be in a season 2 if this thing gets one.
Yeah,
I haven't had much. I haven't had much on my YouTube feed as far as responses to this series. I might have to take
Yeah, no one's watching it.
gander and personally search. Yeah, I don't believe too many people are watching this. To answer your question about Blade, his overall presence, I thought it was a very unique idea. Uh, I thought it was a really cool concept. They gave him an important role. I always wondered with that lineup of heroes, it's like where does Blade fit? And with him having Conchu, I thought it was rather impressive. Uh, more recently, I wouldn't say more recently. I believe last May, Marvel had a nice vampire series that I thought that was pretty cool. And Blade ended up being an important character. Uh, it's just I guess Blade doesn't have too many stories where he attributes to a big Marvel storyline, unless you guys can remember some. I think yeah, for the most part, he's been side by side with Wolverine plenty of times. He's had moments with the Fantastic Four, but as far as alongside the Avengers,
not really the Avengers.
It's now started including him. So since
I think
I'm a Blade fan, I enjoyed just having the opportunity to see Blade. To answer your question.
Yeah, I think like Blade's like one of those characters that is like kind of on and off again. Like, he had a big thing back in the 70s, and then later on, like the 90s, when the Blade movies came out and stuff, it kind of revitalized the character. We're like, all right, well, now we got to keep doing more Blade stuff in the 2000s and all that. And I guess Blade Trinity kind of killed the hype a little bit, and now we're starting to get some Blade back. So there's that. But kind of makes me think of this.
Go back to your dressing. You need to come out of that dressing room, Mr. Snipes. I ain't coming out this dressing room.
But yeah, but it makes me think of this Ultimate. I think in the Ultimate Avengers comics, there was probably a storyline where, like, I think it wasn't a big storyline or a big event, but I think like a bunch of people got turned into some vampires or something, and Blade had to, like, I guess, help out the Avengers or something like that. And I remember like Stick and like Daredevil's replacement got turned into vampires and stuff because it's after that Ultimate thing or whatever, where
a recent Ultimate or a past Ultimate series.
Oh, past Ultimate, like back in the 2000s.
Okay.
And stuff. Yeah, where like Blade was bald and all that. He had the little goatee. Yeah, that one.
I hate bald,
yeah.
Blade's better with a fade.
I could do it. I've accepted it.
I can't. I don't accept bald Blade. It's got to be Blade with the fade.
Like the anime and stuff. Blade, he kind of look cool in that.
I like the anime.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the Nova Corps, Jay Leno, because I'm sure Bundle would have mentioned that if he was here.
I mentioned, I'm going to mention it. 1 second. Z Kid says, "Yeah, I can watch this Marvel Zombie show." I guess he meant to say I can't watch this Marvel Zombie show. It looks trash. It's not good. It needs to stop. It'd be good character, but Miss Marvel. But I don't care about the character. But
I can't even see the comment.
I think he's basically saying he didn't care too much for he didn't care too much for Marvel Zombies, and he doesn't really care too much for Miss Marvel. I'm gonna put a bubble on these texts, so I think it'll be better if I do that. Yeah, that makes it easier. But yeah, he said he didn't care too much for it. I could understand that people really just not being the biggest fans of it. I was entertained by the fight scenes. I will say episode 3 and 4 got a bit more gorier than the more graphic compared to the first two episodes. But with the Nova Corps, SSJ, I've been wanting to see like the real presence of the Nova Corps and actually seeing Supernova Richard
They need to
Rider.
bring in, yeah, they need to bring in Richard Rider and his
At this
So
point,
son.
I would have been
Son
okay
Alexander.
with them just bringing in Cassandra Nova, but dang, we couldn't even get that.
yeah,
Nope.
that's a conversation I've had with Bundle probably since the first Guardians of the Galaxy, because I just felt like
Hmm.
when I saw Nova Corps, I was just like, oh yeah, they're gonna get there, they're gonna get there, they're gonna get there, but you know,
Because I hear Nova is supposed to be like the central character of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
well, I
Yeah,
mean
he is.
that probably sounds post Secret Wars. That's my assumption.
I mean, like even like back in the I think the old '90s comics, like Nova's
Mm.
always kind of been like
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of wasted concepts on this show, though, for sure.
yeah,
I'd appreciate a reboot now that they have all these rights. If post Secret Wars, if they just like if they end up starting a different universe gets started and new characters get introduced, I'd appreciate it fully to see all of these events are yeah, with more of the characters involved that we missed out on. I'd appreciate that.
and I feel like another problem with the show with Marvel Zombies is that they mostly use Phase 3 and Phase 4 stuff, and they
Mhm.
didn't use any of the stuff from like Phase 1 and Phase 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
They did
like,
that on purpose.
right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, you have Scarlet Witch, who's like the main antagonist, and she's like this head zombie or whatever, and she's somewhat kind of cognitive of what she can do. So I was thinking like, okay, so if why did she got Okoye as their like, as her like right hand or whatever and stuff like that? When with her powers and stuff, she could probably like resurrect her brother, and we can just get back Phase 2 Quicksilver. I think that
It's
would
not a
probably be a lot more
coincidence,
interesting.
is it, Jonah? That of course Okoye, a strong,
Yeah,
bald-headed black woman, would be her right
yeah,
hand. It's
I've been
not a
getting annoyed with Okoye
coincidence.
for a minute.
Z Kid
Yeah,
says
that
I
makes a
can
lot
watch
of
this
sense.
show, but only one like he can only watch a show like Miss Marvel. I don't care about the other characters, but the actress, she looks good. I think she's cute. Okay, Z's got the hots for Kamala Khan's character. That's pretty dope. My youngest thinks Kamala Khan's cool, and so
Yeah, like
I'm not crazy about Kamala Khan, but it was just so apparent uh, during I guess the beginning of my comic book research that they were pushing so hard. She was very forced.
they're trying to make her like the next Spider-Man, and
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
but it just I, I feel my opinion is you can't force something like that. Like
Yeah, you gotta do the work.
it was too farmed, it was too manufactured, and she's got to go through the spill like a lot of other characters. So,
Yeah, like well, Kamala Khan. I mean, whether it
but I'm
be
still gonna
MCU or
watch
the comics, she's a likable character because I mean, well, I guess she's a nice person, but she's not really an interesting character. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a character I want to like follow or watch a show about, or oh, want to read this comic. And I have read some Miss Marvel stuff. I wouldn't say I'm like a huge like what's the word like a expert about the character, but mostly her strongest stories is when she's teaming up with other heroes like Wolverine, Spider Man, even Captain Marvel herself. So yeah,
I think she needs a better uniform.
I just think
yeah,
she's too surface level. Like there's nothing else about her besides she's just a fan of the other superheroes that exist in the world, which that's basically just a self insert. I could be
yeah.
like I could write a story about me being in a comic book and being like, oh yeah, like Spider-Man is so cool. I want to be just like him.
I think I had a comic book like that a long time ago, but yeah, where some kids wrote themselves in the Marvel universe. But yeah,
My biggest criticism of Miss Marvel in the comic books is she has these OP moments in her, and she's pretty OP of a character, but there's just moments to where I guess she doesn't use her powers properly. Like there's holes in her abilities because one moment I could see her, and there's been moments where she's enlarged herself and combined her different abilities, and took down and attributed to defeating like a formidable villain. And then there's moments to where she's struggling against somebody that's almost grounded and needs assistance. So it just, I guess comics are always inconsistent, but I had some criticism for her. There
I
were
wouldn't
other
say she's over. I wouldn't say she's overpowered. Because her powers are kind of just a little just generic with the stretchy powers. But I do kind of agree with your point. She probably does also need a costume change too, because her costume, as you know, she got it because she was like a huge fangirl of like Miss Marvel. So she just put something together as a costume, and bam, there you go. And I'm like, she's been palling around with like because she is a inhuman, so she could just chill with them, and they can like make her a better costume and stuff. And there you go. But
The
yeah,
MCU version is a mutant, though.
yeah. They retconned her story.
They
Like,
retconned her to be a
from
they
mutant.
did, they did that in the
Quasar
comics as
thing.
well, not just the MCU.
Yeah, they tried to bring
MCU
it
did that
over
because
in
of the
the comic.
comics.
Yeah, but I will say this. I mean, people are liking her inside Marvel token battle or whatever. So
Not me. You
yeah,
remember what I said in that stream? Jay Leno was laughing when I said that because we were all watching, and I was like, "Man, I'm so annoyed at seeing Ms. Marvel." And Jay Leno just started busting out laughing.
yeah, I don't blame you.
So what was her name? Valkyrie?
I would have taken Valkyrie.
Now,
Wait, was Valkyrie blonde and white in that game? Or are you talking about like
well,
Tessa
I'm going
Thompson?
back. I'm going back into the
He's
what if
talking about
episode
Tessa
before.
Thompson. She's
Oh.
black in the what if
Yeah, she's black inside Marvel Zombies.
in the zombie. Yeah,
Yeah,
She, I like. I don't know.
I hate that character
It
too.
just okay. To me, she's a variant more so than her own character. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of variant.
she's a very
terrible
serious.
character. That character pretty much is terribly written, and I hate how nonchalant that character is because she's supposed to have the highest respect for the Asgardian culture, and they just treat her like, I'm sorry to say, a dyke.
Remember, she's the queen of Asgard too.
No, they made her the king of. No, didn't they make her the king? Remember when she was like, "Oh no, I'm the king." Remember?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Or that.
Respectfully, I hate that character, and it's
Yeah,
because of Tessa Thompson too. Tessa Thompson was allowed. They gave her a lot of freedom with the character to make her nonchalant and non-caring because she doesn't read comics. So
Remember, she defeated Loki when she was drunk too. Somehow, like, okay.
I think she punched him in the balls. I think.
One critique I have is I'd rather for Riri to be around than have two characters with rings.
Rings?
Oh yeah.
With the,
Oh, you're talking about Katie and
yeah.
Shang-Chi?
Instead of Shang-Chi and what's the female character's name again?
I call
Katie.
her Marvel's Katie.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so Katie, instead of having both of them on the battlefield at the same time, I thought that was kind of redundant.
They
I'd
should have
rather
killed
have
off
one of
Marvel's
those characters.
Katie.
Yeah, I'd rather have Shang-Chi with all of the rings and then having Riri and then she die early.
Like if I was Shang-Chi, I would have pushed
it
her
looked
off
better on the
cliff
battlefield
first.
to me.
I don't know why they let Aquafina, Marvel's Katie, survive, and then they let her use the 10. I was like, really? Okay, MCU.
Yeah. And she was fighting like an expert and stuff.
She was
like,
fighting way better than Shang-Chi in some scenes too, and using the rings
But
better than him.
I guess for the dramatic effect of one of Kamala Khan's close friends dying, that's why they had Riri die. Because
Bundle, if you're watching the stream, you can't argue against Marvel's Katie having the biggest balls in this scene. Like it's.
I mean,
it's
that wasn't my argument. I just that's the only excuse I could think of on why Riri probably ended up dying so soon is because they wanted to give off a stronger dramatic effect. Because that's Kamala Khan's dramatic effect, and of course Shang-Chi and I guess Katie, they had their dramatic effect in that death.
Those two are my least favorite characters in this whole thing.
I knew they weren't. Yeah.
I mean, this is just me, but I guess she's a lot more tolerable than she was in Shang-Chi because when Aquafina would just open her mouth inside that movie, I was just like, please, just shut up and stop talking.
Yeah, I would have backhand her.
Yeah.
Now, Just for the sake of using my imagination, if this feminist era of pushing female characters is not going to end, if they're going to do another season, I would like to see OP X-Men female characters. I will completely be entertained seeing a Rogue, a Jean Grey, a Jubilee, or
They're
a
definitely
Magic
making the storm.
I will not
Storm
watch.
contributing to a Marvel Zombies. I will definitely. If we're going to push for female characters, I want the right ones.
I will not watch at
Mm.
that point. I'm just being honest.
I mean, I got you, but I mean, like I said, if we're going to do that, I want to see the characters I want to see. But outside of that, this is it was good action. This I don't know. Would you okay? Do you guys think this should have been released the way it was, or should they have scrapped this like a Batman film, like the Batgirl film did for DC?
They should
They
have
just
scrapped
not
this like a
released it.
bad habit.
I
Screaming
have
like a bad
two
habit.
answers for that. They could either scrap it or they probably should have because there's only 4 episodes, so what they should have done was like, okay, you have what you got, but like add in more stuff over time. Like, since Bundle said that this was made like back in like what 2019 or something, they could have kind of waited out a little bit. Now that they had the rights, they could have just kind of start putting some more of the stuff in there now. That's what I personally think, to kind of drag out the show a little bit longer. But personally, I'm like, yeah.
Now, okay. I mean, I have no qualms, no disagreements there. Another question I got for you guys is I wanted you guys' opinions on the aesthetics of the heroes and villains. I thought Incredible Hulk looked really cool. I mean the only yeah, I liked everybody's costumes for the most part.
So I still pretty much hate the design and how they animated a lot of the characters in this show because it still looks ugly and like washed out, like how What If does.
Really,
So
I like the animation of What If. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't like the animation at all. I was like, nah, they should have like really hand drawn it and made it look 2D, more closer to like how X-Men 97 has like a 3D, but it's still hand drawn at the same time. This show, I just don't like how the characters' faces just look kind of washed out and blurred in certain
Yeah.
scenes or whatever.
Mm.
And
They kinda make
sometimes,
it-
like how Jonan said, you can barely make out who's who. Like he's
Yeah.
like, I agree with what you said when you said Shang-Chi. Basically, he doesn't really look a lot. He doesn't look that much like Simu Lee, and you pretty much could have made him look like anybody else with his actual martial arts outfit on to make him look like Shang-Chi, since his face kind of looks off. And I feel that way about a lot of other characters too. So it's just the same ugly animation from What If.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'm still on that too because I'm like, well, the animation, like the fight choreography and the movement, it's fine, but the character designs and stuff like that—that's my real issue with, and definitely the look and feel of it too. But yeah, it definitely does look generic because you kind of need things to kind of make it more like separate, make characters stand out. Like Baron Zemo, I can barely tell. Oh, that's Baron Zemo. I mean, it would be better if he was wearing the mask, I guess, and the outfit, but no.
Same with John
Or-
Walker. I barely could recognize him.
Yeah, exactly. Like even John Walker, I was like, wait, that's John Walker. Oh, he's not wearing the U.S. agent outfit or anything. Like,
Right.
I think his hair color is different too.
Okay, that makes sense. I remember from the episode 1 and 2 stream that Jonah, and you weren't the biggest fan of the writer. If this
Ooh, yeah.
if this doesn't get the review or the rating that they want, would that be in line, or could that be an easy go at it, as I guess to call it, to go with a different writer for a What If series, for
They should-
do another season?
They should definitely get rid of the writer. I mean, not for this per se. Well, not for this per se, but maybe definitely for that Spider-Man stuff, because the Spider-Man stuff he did in the comics was like, wow, it just makes me feel like you hate the character at this point. But I didn't get that here with Marvel Zombies, unless it's kind of like if you want to see characters you just don't like getting killed, like Ironheart or Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I think that if they do another season and its plot is connected to the current MCU right now, and I guess post in the for what they're about to introduce post Secret Wars, or if we get something before Secret Wars, like post Doomsday. I'd be interested in those characters. I mean, of course, that'd be X-Men, the addition of X-Men and the Fantastic Four universe to a What If series. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Another thing too that would definitely help this show would definitely be like definitely get rid of the comedy because
Yes.
I just can't take it seriously with the characters joking around all the time. Like I just got done watching the What If episode that is like, you know, a follow up from that. Like I remember like I was just watching like Happy going like, oh blam blam, I got the Iron Man thing and I'm just like, am I supposed to feel like I'm scared or or should I feel bad for this character? You know what I'm saying? Like or
It's just
Spider-Man
dumb
doing
at this
live
point.
streams, like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Marvel doesn't know when to stop with these quips and humor that we've gotten tired of since the first Avengers movie. And it's just awkward because we don't like grown people don't act like this in real life, just sitting there making stupid jokes and comments randomly when they're doing real life things. So I don't know why Marvel keeps on throwing these stupid one-liners and quips in there like they think it's funny.
Yeah. Because it just doesn't give us a moment to like really breathe or just be like, man, that was pretty messed up.
Exactly.
Okay. What was that? Was his name Bo DeMaio?
Oh yeah, going to mail from X-Men '97.
X-Men '97.
Now, I wouldn't mind him revamping, resurrecting some of these other Disney series since obviously X-Men '97 let him go. If you put this series in his hands, I know we would probably have different opinions on this series. And people do forget and forgive.
Yeah, I think because he was really good because I mean he actually does seem to like know his stuff about the comics because
Yes.
even right now he's about to do like season 2 and stuff and he has set up like I'm gonna use Cyclops and Jean for example, right? I got this mini series where it's based on that storyline where Cyclops and Jean go into the future and they see their son, you know, Cable, as a child and all that. So I'm about to find out what happens there. Or like Storm's little arc where she lost her powers and stuff. What was it called? Yeah. But yeah, he seems to definitely know his stuff. But you know how people feel about continuity and fans writing for the stories and the source material.
Well, I would if whatever plot that's available that he can put his hands on. I trust his creative process over this what's going on current right now with the Marvel Zombies What If series. Not just Marvel Zombies, just the What If series itself.
They got to do a lot more than just bring back Bo DeMaio if they want to really turn things around with something like What If, because What If really could have been something special, but it just ended up being a Captain Carter show.
Yeah,
full of political female agenda.
I can't wait for a read. Well, I won't be long winded, Jonan. I can't wait for a revamp because Disney has had to at least entertain us and be restricted from using its plots and stories because of the characters they have had access to. So, you know, I can't wait. As you were saying though, Jonan, before I accidentally cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. I was about to say like kind of like in X-Men '97 and stuff. Like even with Bo DeMaio, like they had restrictions. Like you know how like they had like King T'Chaka is like the Black Panther when it's supposed to be T'Challa because in that like T'Chaka is supposed to be dead when T'Challa was like 13, just like in the comics. But they changed that and the
That did confuse the heck out of me.
You know, like they had like come back. But yeah, so they're gonna definitely be stubborn in their ways, Marvel Studios.
I did like that X-Men '97 trailer.
Yeah, it looked good.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm big.
Yeah,
I'm
right
big.
now, X-Men and Fantastic Four is well, and Spider-Man too is technically what's carrying them right now.
Which is a good place to be in.
Yeah,
And then preparing for Doomsday's trailer to be released soon. Punisher has a special, so it's I'd say they're moving in the right direction. We got some important properties that are going to be taken off on the big
I'm still
screen.
gonna be cynical though, because how many times have we gotten excited and it ended up being trash?
Yeah, I mean, ooh, my fault. You're completely right. I have no disagreements. I mean these past films that have been released, I've slowed down in trying to obtain knowledge on the lore of the characters because all it does is create expectations, and I'm like trying to check the box for lore and Easter eggs and etc. And it just leads to disappointment.
yeah. But I mean, you never know. Sometimes they might actually do it in a little bit more of a, you know, like a little bit more coherently compared to the comics. Sometimes without it being
Mm,
convoluted, you know.
yeah,
Can we just get back to where things be cool and not stupid? Like things are just stupid in these movies.
there's
Oh yeah,
some. Yeah,
intentionally too.
I would honestly I would go with better writing.
And I remember Bundle said that we're never going to get that quality again. We can because we have better technology than we did back then. We can easily get that quality again 12 times over, but they choose not to. They think that because we already got something great like the Avengers, let's just give them crap. They'll eat it up,
Not to mention how they
which a lot of
overwork
them
their
do.
CGI artists and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And the VXF.
Yep.
I haven't looked at any Wonder Man content that's been released or said, and I don't think I'm going to.
You
Yeah.
remember
I
how you
mean,
were talking about Thunderbolts? I know this is, but we'll get right back into onto it. I won't be long. But you said how a lot of folks like Thunderbolts and you weren't really impressed by it, Jay Leno.
Yeah,
Like, it is a mid movie, but I feel like they did try to like cook something there. Like there was a potential for it to be a really good movie, but it was just mid for some reason. Like it really could have been really good, but it for whatever reason
like it fell
just
flat.
mid. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it surpassed my expectations because I was like, oh, this is going to be a bad movie. And I'm like, oh,
because it
this
had the
wasn't
recipe
half
there for it
bad.
to be somewhat decent. The plot was you had some characters there, but I don't like it was just mid.
I wanted
Yeah.
more Bob, bro,
They can make these movies good. They just choose not to.
and I had high expectations. I was really excited to. I really wanted to see the presence of the Void. I didn't feel like the Void was a strong enough presence in the film.
Yeah. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Sentry doesn't have his own villains like that. And the Void is kind of like, because he is the Void, but it's kind of like that's his villain. But yeah.
And I mean,
But,
Sentry. They do have some real freaking enemies for Sentry, but it just
oh, really?
a lot. Yeah, but how should I say this? They spent too much time escaping through that tunnel, that
Yep.
vertical
Oh, yeah.
tunnel.
That.
That was
The
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
jokes
Yeah.
too.
Trying to escape the little thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the stupid jokes they were making while trying to go up the tunnel.
they spent
Yeah.
way too much time.
But yeah, that was just the point I was just trying to make. Like, I feel like Thunderbolts was a well-made movie, but it was just mid though. Like they put all the money into it. They had the stars, like decent enough stars to kind of follow the movie around. You were setting up for the new Avengers. Like, granted, we didn't care for some of these members, like Red Guardian and Yelena, but like Sentry was cool, Bucky was cool, but the movie it was just nothing.
Yeah.
And
They
as I'm honestly pretty casual to the new Avengers and all these super soldier characters. For them to be called new Avengers,
Yeah, it's
That
weird
it didn't
because
it didn't suit very well to me. I'd rather I don't know if I would have picked them.
well,
I know
it's
they had
weird
already set them up,
because
but
they're not like the new Avengers is supposed to be like the Defenders from the Netflix thing, like Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil, and Jessica Jones, and all them.
yeah.
That's sort of the roster for the new Avengers, but they just called them the Defenders when that's supposed to be like Doctor Strange, Namor, Silver Surfer, and
And
the Hulk.
Silver Surfer. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I got that comic right here.
so
Actually,
I,
they kind
I
of
would
switched the names around.
I would have had more appreciation for this Thunderbolts film if it was like a 3 episode special on Disney rather than me going to the movie theaters to see it.
yeah, I think it probably could have worked better as a TV show rather than a movie.
And then the Wonder Man thing. I mean, honestly, I'm not like really a diehard fan of the like Wonder Man in general. I mean, of course, what they're doing is kind of stupid, but I'm like, oh yeah, Wonder Man, he's all right.
You
Read
saw
about
how they
him.
had the actual white Wonder Man in the trailer, but then they were like, "Yeah, we're replacing him. We need somebody
Yeah,
else."
they're definitely teasing you with that one. They're like, oh yeah, well we got this guy that looks close to comic book accurate, and now we're gonna take that away. This is the Wonder Man that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
Like that's some She-Hulk level of trolling. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, they need some OxyClean. I mean, I'm so happy that Fantastic Four ended up being such a good film.
yeah,
yeah.
it was
No one's talking
better than
about
my
it.
expectations again. I was like, oh okay,
I liked it, but no one's talking about it. And I see people are trying to go back now and say like, "Oh well, it was okay. It wasn't that good. You know what? The 2005 was better." And I'm like, "Nah, man.
Mm.
2005 was not better. The Big Mama's house looking thing, nah, he was not
Here
better
we
than
I
go.
that."
mean, Big Mama House thing is better than She-Hulk animation and stuff and
I'll give
CGI.
you that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Mm.
But he still looked like Big Mama in that suit, though.
Mhm. But I was gonna say, I mean, both movies. I mean, for the 2005 Fantastic Four and this one, I mean, I kind of have it up there as the same. Like it's neck and neck for me. Of course, the Galactus thing, that's the cherry on the top. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
think
love the most.
It's
yeah,
not even
I like,
close
Galactus
to
is
me.
person.
and like the ship and everything and the backgrounds. I'm like, oh my God, this looks amazing. Jack
And
Kirby would be amazed.
I mean I enjoyed the music. I definitely like the chemistry of the characters. The yeah, I mean for how each character's personality and their importance to the plot, I think it just attributed to the film. It just they didn't. None of the Fantastic Four characters seemed too cheesy to me. I felt like uh I was connected to the conflict that Reed Richards had and the decisions that he had to make. I was locked in, y'all. I don't know if y'all were emotionally connected through that film, but I was.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I was locked in too. I was
yeah, definitely.
engaged
Yeah,
because I like
definitely.
sci-fi stories. So them like in space and trying to figure out what to do with Galactus and trying to barter with him was cool. You know, they were because it's a Marvel movie. There'll be some dumb things in there, like how I don't agree with how Mr. Fantastic was like, oh well, let me just tell everybody exactly what's going on. He should have just lied.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that
yeah,
was
it's
that
never
was
gonna
like
happen.
really stupid. I'm like, for the smartest man in the world, yeah, I would have lied too, or I would have lied.
Mhm.
No,
I would have been like, he should have been like, oh, did you beat him? Did you beat Galactus? No, I didn't beat him yet. What's going on? Don't worry about it. We got it. We got this.
yeah,
That was that was a good Galactus.
He was so good.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
a
uh,
really good
probably
Galactus.
my favorite
And we were worried about
villain of the
Galactus.
show.
Just with all the rumors leading up to this film, he was under so
yeah.
much pressure.
I
I
wasn't
wasn't
worried about
worried because I looked
Galactus.
up the actor. The actor is known for doing those kind of roles, like that kind of growl voice and things like that. He does
Mm.
podcasts and voiceover. So when
Oh
like
yeah,
I saw the
I was
interview he
confident they
did
would definitely
too,
get
he was
Galactus
great.
right. It's just like Silver Surfer I was worried about, and Mister
Yeah,
Fantastic. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, Mr. Fantastic could have stretched a little more, but besides that, he was okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I got it. I got it. I agree. All right, guys. You guys got anything y'all want to contribute to the stream? Because I'm about to end it, close out.
Oh, not too much. Got a live stream coming on Friday, so I'm actually surprised we're doing this stream today because I was like, oh, I thought you guys were gonna do this on Friday or something like last week. But got a stream coming Friday, inviting a special guest. So that's all.
All right. Well, we'll definitely. I'm gonna try my best to tune into that. At least I'll at least be able to watch it on my phone, if anything.
Appreciate it.
No problem, dude. How about yourself, SSJ?
And then I got 2 Dragon Ball videos that should be coming out. One should be out by Friday and the other one by Saturday. So definitely tune in for those 2.
Okay. I gotta go back on episode 1 and 2 video, and I have to add you guys to the description.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And if there's any videos where I forget to do that, don't be shy of reminding me to do it, because I'm definitely not doing it intentionally.
Oh no, that's cool. I personally, I don't really like. Yeah, I don't mind. I did kind of tag you guys in my community post, anyways. So
I saw. I gave it a thumbs
I
up.
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, Jonah.
Right.
Well, all right, everybody. I appreciate y'all for watching this stream. Hope you guys enjoy your week. We will see you probably this Friday on Jonan's stream. I'm Jay Leno. This is SSJ and Jonan, and we're out.
All right.
Peace.
Take care, everybody.